Welcome back to the Aurora Public Library's Typing Club. My name is Jason, and this is week 3. In this lesson, we'll review the E, G, H, and I keys that we learned from last week, and introduce 3 new letters, the N, O, and T keys, along with the Shift button. In last week's lesson, we added to the home row keys of A, S, D, F for the left hand, and J, K, L, and semicolon for the right hand. We added the keys of E, G, H, and I. And the E key, as you remember and you practice in your drills, is pressed with the middle finger of the left hand, and the I key is pressed with the middle finger of the right hand, while the index fingers of the index finger of the left hand presses the G key, and the index finger of the right hand presses the H key. So this is where the lessons are gonna get a little bit harder, where once we start introducing more keys and typing more words with different combinations of letters in the exercises. So in this lesson, we'll be learning the T, N, O, and Shift keys. So let's begin with the N and O keys. Okay, so you see the N key here on the bottom row. So this is the first key we're learning on the bottom row, and the O key on the top row. So let's see how we type these keys and which fingers we use to type them while looking at the keyboard. So let's learn how to type the N and O keys. So let's put our hands back on the home position of A, S, D, F, J, K, L, and semicolon. A, S, D, F, J, K, L, and semicolon right there. All right, so for the N key, for both the N and O keys, we'll be using our right hand. So let's focus on the right hand. For the N key, you'll be using your left index finger and moving from the J key to the N key. And again, once you're done typing the N key, you move your finger back to the J key. And for the O key, this one's a little bit weird. Try it yourself and see if it feels weird to you, because it sure feels weird to me. And you're moving your fourth finger up from the L key to the O key. Try doing it yourself. See if it feels kind of awkward and unusual, something maybe you're not used to, moving your fourth finger like that. All right, so again, the N key is the index finger between J and N, and the O key is between L and O using your fourth finger. Let's learn how to type the N and O keys with the first exercise of this week's lesson. So let's put our fingers back on the home row position and begin the exercise. All right, so for the first 2 parts, it'll be practicing the new keys. So let's begin with LOL, OLO, and so forth. And as you're doing this, you might notice the weird feeling that I was talking about before, because you might not be used to you might not be used to using your fourth finger to reach up like that, or extending your fourth finger. But after some practice, you'll begin to feel that it's not that weird. So let's practice the J down to the N movement and back up. All right, now let's practice some words with the new N and O key. So let's try adding those in. D-O-G, H, and we move one across with the index finger. L, O, and we move up with the L to the O. And then N, we move down from the J to the N. And then the G, we move from the F to the G here. Uh-oh. And we move up for the E. And we move across for the H. And we move up for the O. And we move up for the E again with your middle finger. Up with the fourth finger. Up with the fourth finger. So sometimes you'll see that you'll have some letters that you might need more practice, or it just feels a little bit unusual, like this movement from, or the reaching from the fourth finger up to the O. So feel free to practice these exercises as many times as you want, and you'll feel that you'll notice that once you practice more and more, your speed and accuracy will go up by quite a bit after just a few times practicing. And remember to have the good posture when you're typing, or else you'll start to feel really tired after doing these exercises if you're not sitting properly. All right, so in this exercise, I had a speed of 32.69 words per minute and an accuracy of 93.57. So before we continue, why don't you stop the video here and try the N and O exercises. And then up next, we're going to learn about the T key and the shift keys. All right, so up next, we have the T and shift keys. So let's talk about the T key first, as that's just a normal letter. Like, what are these? This has an arrow and the word shift on it. So for the T key, we're going to move our index finger from the F to the T, and I'll show you once we take a view of the keyboard again. So it's just your left index finger going from F to the key, to the T key. So the shift key, and as we'll take a look on the keyboard later, you have two of them, one on the left side and one for the right side. And these keys are to make your letters capitalized. So right now, well, on your keyboard, you have the capital letters printed on them. So for example, A, you see it's a capital A. But when you press on the A key, you get a lowercase a. So in order to get a capital A, you'll have to press the shift key and A at the same time. So here's what it looks like. Let's learn how to type the T key and use the shift keys so we can type capital letters or uppercase letters. So for the T key, using the left index finger, we move from the F to the T. And on the screen is a notepad software, so I can show you what I'm typing. So let's erase the A, B, C, D, E on the screen, and let's type F from the home row, and then move up to the top row to press T, and then move back down again. So using your left index finger and going up to the T. All right, great, good job. So moving on to the shift keys now. The shift keys are used to make uppercase letters. So again, on the keyboard, it's printed a capital A, but when we press it on the screen, you'll see that a lowercase a shows up. So how do we get the uppercase A to show up? So if we want the uppercase A to show up, we press the shift key with our pinky and press the A key with our left hand at the same time. So if the key that you want to capitalize is on the left hand, as in the case with the A key, then you use the right hand pinky finger, and you move it from the semicolon to the shift key here. And you hold it down, you hold the shift key down, and you press A at the same time. If you don't hold it down, then you just get the regular A. So when you're typing, when you want to type capital A, you press and hold down the shift key with your right pinky, and then press the A with your left pinky. And once you're done writing your capital letter, you can let go of the shift key. There's another way to make capital letters on the keyboard, and that's with the caps lock key. So if I press it on like this, if I turn it on, and I'll show you my keyboard over here on the right hand side, there's a light in the middle that turns on and off when I press the caps lock key. So if it's glowing, it means it's on. Then my letters will become capitalized. So right now the caps lock key is turned on. So I'll press A again, and I don't have to press the shift key, and it'll become capitalized, or it'll be uppercase. If I press caps lock again and turn it off, then the keyboard returns to normal. So I'll show you what it looks like on the right hand side. So the key you want to make a capital letter is typed by your right hand. For example, O, a key that we learned in this lesson. Then we'll have to use our left hand's pinky to press the shift key while we press the O key with our right hand. And again, if you don't press the shift key, then it's a lowercase letter. So if you press it uppercase, press and hold it, it's uppercase. And if you don't press it, then it's lowercase. Okay, let's try the third exercise. This is exercise number 3 of this week's lesson. And in this exercise, it will combine both N and O with T and the shift keys with the letters that we've learned in the first 2 lessons. So let's begin by placing our fingers back on the home row position and clicking start. So I'll try to narrate as much as possible while doing this. So it's J on the home row, up for the E, D. It's just a space, no semicolon. D, up for the O, S, up for the E, D, up for the O. And then side for the G, and then semicolon with the pinky, and then side for the H, up for the E, up twice, or you can stay there for the double O's, down for the N, side for the right hand, for the H, up for the O, and side to the G, side to the H, up for the E. Uh-oh. Up for the I. Up for the T. There's a new letter. Some of you might be hearing my cat in the background. All right, so now we have a capital letter. So which hand is it on? So it's H, so it's on the right hand. So we'll have to use our left pinky to press the shift key while we press the H key in order to get a capital H. And then we'll go up for the E. And then press the fourth finger, home row for the L, up for the E, side for the H, up for the I, up for the T, up for the I and the E. Oh, okay, so we have another so we have another capital letter. I got really excited when I saw a capital letter there. So it's I. So it's on the right hand again. So it's from the middle finger, from K to I. So if it's on the right hand, we use our left. We use our left. Let's get back into the typing position. Okay. Okay, there you go. So we press our. I think it's giving me an error here since my cursor moved. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so now let's type I. So I is on the right hand with our middle finger. So we use our right pinky to press the shift key. And then we do it again here. Up for the E, up for the I and the E there. Capital I, shift with the left pinky, and then I with the right middle finger. Oh, so we have a capital A, so it's on the left hand now. So we use our pinky here, and then we use our right pinky finger to hold shift while we press A to get the capital. And then we have a capital D here, so again it's on the left hand side, so we use our right middle finger to press D, and then our left middle finger to press D, and our right pinky finger to press shift. And then we go up for the O using our fourth finger. So we have a capital S here. So capital S, it's on the left hand. It's on our fourth finger for the left hand. So we use our right hand again for the pinky. To press the shift, and we go side from the J, press H, go up for the T using our left index finger, up for the O, capital N, so we go down with our right index finger, shift with our left pinky finger, and up for the O, and then up for the E, and then fourth finger for the L. And then J up for the O, side to the G, up for the I, down for the N, and then side for the G, and pinky for the semicolon. So my speed for this was pretty slow. Oh, well, I was talking a little bit, so that's okay. 17.94 words per minute, but an accuracy of 90%. So again, you want to aim for the accuracy of 85 to 90%, and try to aim for 90% or higher. So yeah, so that's the N, O, and shift keys and T key. So for this lesson, I would advise for you guys to try the exercises more than once, especially for the L to the O and for the shift keys. It's a little bit more difficult than what we learned last lesson, but I promise you, if you guys practice more than once, you guys will definitely improve your speed and accuracy. All right, so let's wrap up the lesson with a little bit of resources, and we'll take it from there. I wanted to end this week's lesson by reminding you guys of some of the resources available at Aurora Public Library and on the internet. At the library, we have 2 books on typing, one online book and one physical book. The physical book is called Century 21 Computer Keyboarding, and it's by Jack Hoggart. And our online book, and the book that we're following for this series, is called Touch Typing in 10 Hours, and it's by Ann Dobson. You can find both of these titles by using the magnifying glass and the search option on aurorapl.ca. And if you wanted to know how to access the ebook, you can view week two's video where I show you how you can log in with your library card so you can view touch typing in 10 hours at home. As well, there's several games and websites that feature typing games. For example, Kids Type is a website that has many different typing games, and two of my favorite typing games are called Keyboard Jump and Z Type. So let's take a look at Keyboard Jump and see how you play that. So I'm on typing.com, and I loaded Keyboard Jump. So I'll pick easy mode, and then there's some sound. It will turn that off. And you can choose here for which keys you want to practice. So let's practice the home row. All right, so the goal of the game is for you to jump by pressing the correct keys. And over here you have some hearts. And I think every time you type something incorrectly, you lose a heart. So the goal of the game is to see how far or how high you can reach before losing all your hearts. Let's give it a try. With our hands on the home row position, we'll press the G, D, semicolon, L. Oh, so this has an apostrophe. So apostrophe is beside the semicolon. We haven't learned this yet. So it's to one more to the right of the semicolon key with your pinky. And then F. And then H, one to the side. And then we have the comma, not the comma, apostrophe there as well. So yeah, so that's how you play the game. See how far you can, how high you can jump. So let's try making a mistake. Yeah, I think you lose some hearts there. Yep, if you make a mistake, you lose a heart. And if you lose all your hearts, you fall. All right. So yeah, so my score for the 1 minute I played was 11,000. Let's see how high you can get as well on Keyboard Jump. All right, so that's it for this week's lesson. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope to see you again next week for week 4 of Aurora Public Library's Typing Club. Have a good week and take care.